I am a private instrument rated pilot with 550 hours of flying time. I don't fly very often anymore because I don't stay current. That means I haven't been flying enough to feel safe. I have an opinion about Lidle's crash. My friend at the NTSB and I have discussed crashes like this, and the probable cause, in my opinion, was lack of maintaining a legal altitude and a crosswind at the time, coupled with the pilot's inexperience. Basically, he should not have turned to his left for a U-turn, but he should have turned to his right because of the crosswind. He also should have not have been flying low enough to strike a building. The legal minimum altitude was 500 feet, and the building is 501 feet tall. Lidle was legally and dangerously low. This was a careless situation where a fairly strong crosswind could push him into the buildings while he was trying to turn around in a limited area. His maneuver to turn around had him flying downwind towards the buildings on the west side of the river. The direction and strength of the wind was obvious from the flames that were photographed after the crash. The wind now has been stated as 14 knots and just about directly across the river. The maneuver was doomed from the start unless the wind was taken into account at his altitude. There is a link on the New York Times that shows the flight path. It was just 11 minutes from takeoff to crash. The route taken by the plane followed the Hudson River out to the Statue of Liberty, and around the Statue of Liberty, supposedly it circled the Statue of Liberty, and then from there down the East River. This route up the East River is in what's known as a VFR corridor. Airplanes that fly within this corridor are to stay within the bounds of the river and also to be between the altitudes of 500 feet and 1100 feet. 500 feet is the minimum. That's the legal minimum to avoid being too close to man-made objects or humans. Here you can see an overlay of this corridor between 500 feet and 1100 feet. Underneath it is illegal. It's below the legal height. Here you can see the flight path of Lidle's plane, and he was nearing the end of this corridor. It ends abruptly. Without getting clearance from the air traffic controllers, he would not have been able to pass the end there of that corridor. It appears that he, as many pilots have done in that area, decided to turn around. But his fatal error was he was inexperienced, he was too low, and he decided to turn left, which took him downwind. The building that he struck is 501 feet tall. Obviously, he wasn't 500 feet above the ground. As you can see from the flames and smoke, the wind was blowing